in Java, a string is nothing but just you can create one variable, a string str equal to new string. We have two ways to create a string. We can say ABC, and then this is how we can create str and print it ABC, right? Or whatever thing you will write here. Welcome. So if I will print, you will get the same output. Similar to whatever thing we do with other, right? Int a equal to 5 and so. Similar thing we have a string str equal to this. But since a string is non-primitive data type, a string is a class in Java. Similar to this one, you can say class a string demo, right? This is also a class. And to create object of this class, right? So right now what we are doing, whenever you write str, then we are actually creating object here. So we can create object in two ways, a string object. One is I can do this one. Let me just write here s1. And another one is you can write s2 equal to new string. And here I'll write welcome. So we have one way is I can directly assign value, and another one is I can use new operator. S1 equal to welcome, and then I can write a string s2 equal to new string welcome. S1 and S2. If I will print, you will get same output. So internally also, whenever you write a string S1 equal to data directly, it is converting into new string and then printing it. This is the shortcut way to create, and this one is actual way to create object of a string class. So here we can say this way is called a string literals. This is a string literals. And here we can create a string object. So one way is a string literal, another one is a string object. Now we have few methods available inside a string class, and using that method you will get to know that the benefit of using a string class. And suppose if I say a string s1, a string s1 s2, we can print it. Suppose I'll say a string s1 dot equals s2. We have equals method available. Equals method, what it will do, equals method checks the content. So here you whether welcome and welcome both are same or not. So if I will run, you will get true. That means in s1 also whatever data we have stored is same as s2. S1 dot equals s2, yes, true. But if I will write w, right, capital or anything, so equals will check exactly same, but here we have one is a small, another one is capital. So in this case you will get false. So this equals method will not work if you have any difference here, whether if you will add a space, and also it will not work. So it should be exactly same, then we can say this is true. If we have exactly same, then equals method will return true. Similarly, we have another function available that is called s1 dot equals ignore case. Equal ignore case, and I'll write s2. Now in this case, if we have w capital, then also it's fine. It will say true. Equal ignore case will ignore the small capital, these things it will ignore and just check whether we have exactly same thing or not. First one will say false because this is not same. Second one will say true because it's same. We have one more option. Let me just write a small letter. So right now both will say true. We have one more thing which is called equal to s1 double equal to s2. So we can use this one also double equal to. But right now this one will say false, because it is saying that s1 and s2 is actually not equal to. Although from equals method we can say that yes, both are equal. So what exactly this double equal to is doing, or let me show you one more example of this one. So suppose I'll write here s1 a string s3 equal to, let's say I'll say hi, and a string s4 equal to hi. We have same value, And if I will check here string s3 equal to s4, what output we will get here? So if you are using both string literals and you are using equal to operator, then it will say true. You can see it is saying true. True. Or just let me change it to welcome itself so that it will be easy to compare. So now if I'll write, it is saying S1, S3 and S4 is true. These two are true. But here, if I will try, if I am trying the same thing with S1 and S2, it's saying false. So if I am doing the same thing here, S1 and equal to S2, it is saying false. That particular thing we need to understand. So if I use a string literals only, then equal to operator will say true. But if I will use object, then it will say false. For example, let me create one more. A string s5 equal to new string, and here I'll say welcome, and then I'll just copy paste again, and I'll say a string s6. Now in this case, 5 and 6, right? Data is same. But if I will do here s5 equal to s6, in this case, right, you can see s3, s4, we get true. But if I'll do here s5, s6, what output we will get? We will get false from here. So this is interview question basically. In interview, they ask this question. If I'm doing S3, if I'm using string literals with equal to, then I'm getting true. But if I use string object, then I'm getting string object, then I'm getting false. Why? So let's find out this thing. So for this, I need to open MS Paint, and we have to understand basic thing. Basic thing is how memory is being created and how data is being allocated. So we have two kinds of memory, although we have many different, but let's consider we have two kinds of memory. One is a stack area. One is a stack and another one is heap. So I'll just create a stack. A stack is just an array, but the thing is it starts, we can say it stores data from top only. So 0, I'll say this one is 1 and so on. You can fill it. I'll write here a stack. A stack means the data will be filled from top only, right? So data will be inserted from top only. And then you have to take data from top only. This is called LIFO, last in, first out. A stack is also called as a LIFO, last in, first out. That means whatever thing will come last, you have to get first. For example, you can consider that you have plates, right? You have, let's say, 10 plates. You kept 10 plates together. Plate 1, on top of it, you have one more plate, and top of it, you have one more plate. So whatever thing will come last, you have to take that first. So once you have to pick, you have to first take this one, then you have to take this one, and so on. So this is called a step. So we are using here, so internally Java is using one memory space which is called a stack, and then we have another memory space which is called heap area, heap. So, and these things are part of, I can say, let me just write. This is inside JVM, right? These things is happening inside JVM. So I write JVM, and JVM is part of actual RAM. So on top of this, I can say this is RAM, random access memory. So we are talking right now about this thing. And why we are talking? Because we need to understand about a string concept, right? So now let's see. Whenever you create object, a string s1 equal to new string, and here I'll say, let's say hi. So what will happen? You have written this first line. So s1 will be available here in a stack, and this hi will be created here. So this value I can directly write here, let's say hi, in a small letter, right? High, exactly same value. So this one will be created here. And then what we are doing internally, we are linking with this. Actual object will be available in heap area. The variable will be available in a stack area. You have to remember, right? Whenever we create variables, that variable will be available in a stack area. Actual data will be available in heap area. Suppose if I create here one more thing, let's say, let's copy paste the same, and I'll say this is S2, right? So let's write here S2. So now we have created one more object S2. So S2 will be available here since we created second, right? First S1. So S1 will be available, then S2. This S2 will be available. Data will be inserted from top, right? That means S2 will be on top of S1. And here also we have same data, high. So what will happen in memory? We create one more block and inside this we have to write high. And this object, this one will be pointed to this thing. So whenever you create new, it will create one more object, right? Both will not, it will be separate, separate object itself, separate memory allocated. Now, if you create the same thing with a string literals, then there is little different thing. So S3 equal to, let's say if I'll do high, then what will happen? This high will be, whenever we create object through a string literals, data will be available in a string pool. So inside heap area, we have one separate space available for a string pool, and this is called a string pool. A string pool. So inside heap only, we have one space allocated for string literals. Whenever you create any object using string literals, this data will be available in heap area. So here we have high available, and this high will be pointed to. So now we created object. So this S3 will be available here, S3, and this S3 we have to point directly to a string pool. S3 will be pointed to a string pool. And then if you create one more object of a string literal, a string S4 equal to high one more time, the same value, and what will happen? S4 will be available here, but it will not create one more reference. It will point to the same one. So this is one benefit of creating a string literals. What it will do, it will check whether we have the same value already available or not. If already available, then point the newly created object with the value. So here S3 and S4 is pointing to same object. And that's why whenever you write S3 equal to S4, right? What output you get? You get true. Because S3 and S4 is pointing to same object. So basically this equal to operator is used to check whether you are pointing to same object or different object. Suppose if I'll check S1 equal to S2. Now S1 is pointing to this one, S2 is pointing to this one. So you can say both are different. That's why you get false. I hope you are getting it. S1 is pointing to another value, S2 is pointing to another value. So both are different. That's why equal to will tell you false. But if you see S3 and S4, so S3 is pointing to this, S4 is pointing to the same. So you will get true. Now, suppose if you create something which is not available. So let's say I'll say string S5 equal to, let's say, high 1. Now, in this case, since high 1 is not available here, right? So what it will do? It will create here one more memory inside this high 1. And S5 will be pointed to S5 will be pointed to this value here. So concept is very simple. In case of a string literals, what it will do, create object inside a string pool. And whenever if we have the same object will come again, if same object is coming again, then before going to create, it will check if the value is already available or not. For example, let's say if I create here a string s5, right, s6, a string s6 equal to hi, same value, then what it will do, this value it will put inside a string pool. But before going to put, right, let me create here s6 first. Yeah, now before going to put here, what it will check, it will check the content. Hi is already available, it will check yes, hi is already available, then this s6 will be pointed to the same object, it will not create one more. Yeah, that means right now S3, S4 and S6 pointing to same object. Memory is not allocated. Memory, whatever thing is already available, it is just pointing to that one. So in memory, right now, for example, we have two value here, H and I. So in Java, whenever we create a string object, each character takes 2 bytes. Here we have 2 characters. So 2 into 2, that is 4 bytes. So 4 bytes memory it will take. Since we have 2 characters, so it will take 4 bytes. So in case of a string pool, right, we have created total, we have S3. So let me just use a highlighter. So we have here S3. Okay. So we have S3, S4, and then S6. These three are same, right? So in memory, we have only 4 bytes allocated for all these three. Since these all are pointing to the same object, S6 is also pointing same, S3 is also pointing same, S4 is also pointing same. This is one benefit of using a string pool, a string literals. It will not create object. But if I'll create object through a string literals, let's say I'll create a string S7 equal to new string, and here I'll write 5. It doesn't matter whether you have data same or different or whatever. It will not check whether data is same or not. It will simply create S7 here, and in memory it will, anywhere in memory it will just create hi, and then it will point that S7 with this. This S7 will be pointed to this. It will not check whether data is already available or not. If you are using new keyword, simply it will create here and assign it. Whether you are using same value, different value, doesn't matter. New keyword will create a separate memory, separate space, and allocate it. But in case of a string literals, it is checking whether already data available or not. If already available, point it. If not, then create new. For example, hi 1 is not available. So here they created one more and then pointed S5 with hi 1. So basically this double equal to checks the reference. You can say double equal to checks the reference. I'll write here somewhere. Double equal to checks the reference, whether it is pointing to same object or different. And here equals checks the content. Right? It will only check content, whether value is same or different. For example, in case of S5 and S6, we are getting false because S5 we are using new string, S6 we are using new string. So these value will be available separately, right? One space allocated for this one, another will. That means S5, S6 will point to different object. And so whenever you will use equal to, you will get false. But if I will use here equals method, S5 dot equals S6, you will get true because content is same, right? You can say true. So content is same, then you will get. Equals method will return true because content is same. So there are lots of method available, utility methods we can say. I'll create a string mo2, and suppose here we have one string str equal to welcome to Java. Let's say Java session. This is our string. Hi, welcome to Java session. Let's say I'll add comma L. Now, what we need to do, we need to use utility methods. So let's start with printing length. So suppose I need to count total number of words, total number of letters, total number of characters available in this one, including a space and a special character. Right? Including a space and a special character. So I will use a string dot length method. And once I will run, it will tell us 27. That means total number of character is available 27. So you can use length method just to check how many characters available in this string. The thing is, you have to remember these things. After that, we can do uppercase, lowercase. So I'll write str dot to uppercase. We will get output all in capital letter. You can see. Let's put down here. So you can see output. Now I'm getting hi, welcome to Java session. So it is giving us in capital letter. Similarly, we can do here sys out str dot to lower case. And what it will do? It will convert all in lower case. So these methods are very important. Suppose you need to match, right? You need to check whether first one and second one is, I mean, you have taken two variables and just wanted to check whether content is same or not. So one way is you can do just lowercase and or uppercase for both variable and then check with equals method. Or you can use equals method as well. So we have, this is used for uppercase, lowercase. If you check about comparison, right? Comparison. Compare operator, right? Let's say compare operator. So if I need to just do compare, we have methods. For example, let's say I'll say here, let's for now let's take str s1 equal to hi, and then string s2 equal to hi. Now I need to do compare. So what I will do, I'll write here sys out s1 dot equals s2. So if both content same, then it will return us true. So we have one method equals. Similarly, we have another method which is called s1 dot equals ignore case, and you can write s2. S2. So this one will ignore totally case, right? So here we have S1 and then S2. Oh, we have written here S in capital letter, right? Yeah. S1, S2. So now you will get true. So we have two methods, equals and equals ignore case. Apart from that, we have one more method which is called S1 dot compare to, right? And then here I can write S2. So compare to is also used to check whether content is same or not. The only difference is compare to returns integer value and equals ignore returns Boolean value. Here compare to will return Boolean integer value That is, if content is same, then it will return 0, compared to if same, then it will return 0, or it will return negative or positive. Right? So this is how it will return. So suppose if first one is h I high, right? In this case, what will happen? Both content are not same. So what this one will return is minus 32, right? So mostly we don't consider what exactly value it is returning. We just check whether it is positive or negative, right? Or 0. So if you get 0, that means both content are same. If not, you will get either less than or greater than, right? So compared to internally, what exactly it is doing, it is converting this character into ASCII code and then it is shading, right? It converts into ASCII code and then subtracting it. So let me check, although it might be wrong, but for ASCII code H, or let's do one thing here. If I will use capital A, right, and a small a, so capital A ASCII code is 65, right, and a small a ASCII code is 97. So if I do compare to what it will do, 65 minus 97, let's see. So we get 32. So is it correct? 5 plus 2 is 7, and yes, so you can, yes, it's right. So you can see that what we get is, once it compare, right, we get minus 32 because it is just converting, just checking, right, if both are same or not. Suppose if I will write here also a, that means 65 and 65, which is equal to 0, right? So this is how it will work, right? So suppose if, just to verify the same concept, I need to write here b and then a. Let's check. So we get 1, right? That means this is 66 minus 65. So this is how compare to works. Similarly, we have compare to ignore case. Yeah, so we have one more method available, s1 dot compare to ignore case, and then you can write s2, and then we get 1, right? So it will just ignore the case and then it will check. So now it doesn't matter where you have a small letter or a capital letter, but output you will get same. So this is one thing. And then also we have, for comparing, we have one more thing, which is called, let's say I have sysout str. I'm using this variable now, str dot starts with, right? So you can see here we have one more method which is called starts with. So I can write here starts with high. I just wanted to check whether my whether this string starts with high or not. If yes, then we will get true, else we will get false. We can get true. That means this is true, right? So we have a starts with. Let me check if we have end with also, str dot end with, right? So we have end with also. So I'll say end with session. So it will check whether a string is ending at session or not. So we are getting true, right? The thing is, you need to remember these all methods, right? I'm just right now using operator, comparing operator, comparison related things. Let's see a few more methods. For example, here we have sysout str dot. One is I can say contents, right? Contents method will match whether particular character is available in these character or not. So I just wanted to check whether Java is available in this string or not. So in this string, Java is available or not. So for that, I can use contains. These methods are very important. I get true because you have to use these things. Right? Without a string and array concept, you can't write even any program, any software. So we have a method contains which checks whether particular data is available or not. Similarly, we have str.matches. Right? Matches is also using, it will check whether particular content available or not. Apart from that, you can use here regex, regular expression. So right now I'm writing matches. So it is saying false because currently it is checking exact word, whether Java is equal to this or not. But if you want, you can add here regular expression that it should start with anything, it should end with anything. But in between, right? In between, there should be Java. Now let's check. That means dot this, and after this also we can say dot. Let's check. Now it is saying false. Okay, now it's true. So basically, you say here dot string, and then it is saying string dot, I mean dot string. Same thing. That means before this anything can be, and after this also we can have anything. And you don't need to actually remember this thing. You can just write here in Google regex, right? Regex for Java, yeah? Or you can write Java string. So you will see here website, right? A lot of website. So you can just open any website and you will get a lot of regular expression. So suppose if you have email address and you need to validate email address, right? Then what you can do, you can directly search here that let's say Java regex for email address, right? Email address validation. So you will get something. You will get lot of things from here, right? So just you need to use those things. For example, here we have username, email address, and if you will use this thing, it will match whether these characters available here or not, and so on. You can use regular expression. The only thing is in Java we can use regular expression in two ways. One is we can use pattern, right? Pattern class, pattern.compile, and another one is Java string, right? So I can write here better Java regex or a Java string regex for email, right? So we have two ways. We can use either Java, right? So here, yeah. So if you will see matches, this one. Okay, they have used pattern itself, and okay, mostly we are using pattern, but Java string matches. So you can see most of the times they are using pattern only. For email validation. But ideally you can use our this one also. That's not a problem. So we have, because this one, right, this matches accepts the regular expression, right? So you can see internally also this is using pattern.matches itself, right? So you can use this one also, str.matches and then regex. Exactly same result as you will get here, pattern.matches. right? So for example, let me show you that example itself for better clarity. So I'll just do here, for example, here we have one regular expression for email pattern, right? Email checking. What I will do, I will just paste here. Although whenever we are using a static final, then we should write outside. So maybe I'll just remove these things. So we have email pattern. It is saying that if you need to just match your email, then you can use this pattern. This might be wrong, but you will get from internet. And then using this, right, what I'll do, I'll check email ID. So for example, suppose I have one email ID. If let's say this is my email ID, right? What I'll do is out email dot matches, and then I'll write here email pattern. So now I will just use this email pattern here, and if I will get true, that means whatever email ID I'm using is correct. So you can see output we are getting true. That means this is valid email ID. Now let's try to remove @ from here and check. So we get here false. That means whatever email ID I have used is not correct, right? Let's say I am using @, but after I'm not using dot, right? Then let's check. I'm getting false. That means still this email ID is not correct, right? So the main thing is before @ we can have anything. After @ there must be at least one dot, right? We can have more than one dot also, right? Let's say .co, .in, right? There may be website like this. So it should be true, right? You can say it is saying true. So this is the regular expression. Internally, this is also using the same pattern, right? But most of the time you will see the pattern one only. So we have in Java a string class, we have matches function available, which is used to check a particular character using Java regular expression. Hope you are getting it, right? So for this thing, you don't need to worry. There is a lot of things already available in internet. So if you need to do email validation, if you need to do phone number validation, you just need to search. You will get a lot of things, right? So in phone number validation, there should be only numeric digit, and digit should be 10 digits, right? So those kind of things you can do validation, regular expression validation. All right, so we have matches function available, contents function available just to check the content. Apart from these things, right, we have methods available for um, let's say you just need to get only welcome, right? We have these things and you just need to get only welcome. I'll just copy paste the same thing below. So contents will only check the actual content. It will not follow any regular expression. Yeah. So sometimes, for example, let's say in case of email validation, right? We are saying that any email, right? Any email should have at least one @ and at least after @ at least we can have at least one dot, @ and dot. So if you will use match contents, then you can either check @ or you can check dot. You can't check both together, right? You have to specify here @ then it will only check in this particular email address whether @ is available or not. Or you can just check @ dot is available or not. But you can't check both. Complete pattern, right? Complete thing you can't match here. That is one problem. Contents is used for absolute matching. Where we have a set of string and we just wanted to check whether this particular data is available there or not. Only one condition at a time. But in matches, it is checking multiple things. Whatever thing you will write here in pattern, it will validate all those things. Just you need to get this pattern. Yeah. And to get this pattern, all that. For example, you can write here regex regex. Only you can write regex. You will see here we have website, learn, build, test. We have at least these two websites which is used frequently. So from here you can create your own regex, right? And you can test it as well. So you can just insert your regular expression here and then add testing word. And then you can for token and all, you can use this thing. Single character, any character, right? So you can see here. For example, let's say I'll say number. Yeah. So any non-digit, right? So for this, we have this one non-digit. You can use /d and so on. So we have a lot of things already available between 3 to 6, right? Exact 3, any character. So there are a lot of things that you will get. You can use this website for most of the time we use for validation. What exactly we do? We copy regular expression and paste it here. So suppose if you get any regular expression, let's say regular expression regex for mobile number, right? So mobile number validation. I'll just open it and let's say this one, right? I'll just copy it and what I will do, I'll paste it here. Yeah. Now what I will do, I will insert here data, right? So suppose I'll say something this one, right? So it is saying no match. That means this is not valid, right? Let's say no match. Yes, one match. That means it is 10 digits. So if I will count here 3, 3, 6, 7, and then 10, right? So it should be 10 digits. Then it will say one match. And similarly, after writing this, you can write another thing. Plus 91 and plus 91, and then I'll let's say put it again. What it is saying? No match. After this, no match. Okay. So it's checking. Yeah. Now it is saying checking one match. Okay. One match. That means you can use here. It is saying it should start either with plus and then 1 to 3 digit. Right. That means here it can be 1 digit. Right. Maximum 1 to 3 digit, but I can't write here 4 digits, 1 2 3, right? It will not work since country code is only maximum 3 digits, and after that it is saying we can have a space, and then after that we can have 10 numbers. 10 numbers must be there. So there are a lot of things already available, and the explanation is also given here. So you can use these websites to check it, and it will give you that regular expression. Sooner or later, you have to deal with regular expression. Once we work with actual project, we have to write regular expression also. And so now next thing is, suppose we have this string, right? Str equal to this, and let me just change here s, right? Now what we can do, we can get substring. So here I can do str dot substring. So substring is overloaded function. We have two methods of substring. One is where it will ask only to begin index. Another one is begin and end. So let's see both. So if you write here begin index, so index will start from 0. Now suppose I want output should be only welcome to Java session. I don't want to print hi and this thing. In that case, I need to write here index for W. So I'll just count here 0, 1, 2, 3. So I want to start from 4, I guess. Yeah. Let's see. So it is now printing welcome to Java session, right? It's not printing hi because we have written here substring. So substring will get data from your main string. Whatever thing you will write, let's say if you write index for this, it will print only this thing. So here we just need to write begin index, and after that it will copy all the things. Now another method available, the same method str.substring, but here you can write begin and end. So let's say I'll say begin index is 4 and end index I'll write till here, right? So let's say this is, if this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I just need to write here 10 plus 1, that means 11. If I need to get this character also, I need to write one more. So now you can see 11, right? We get welcome. So only we get some data from main string. Main is hi, welcome to Java session. But if you write substring begin index and index, it will get only this value. If you get only begin index, then it will print all starting from that index. So we have these things which is also useful. Then we have another method which is called s.replace. We can use replace, not repeat, but replace. So here you have to say old character. So suppose I'll say tab. I have to write old character, and then you have to write new character. So in new character, I'll just say a space. That means I want to remove this special character comma. So in this case, you will get this. But in replace, it will take this one also. Let me check. Yeah. So you can write single character, or you can just write here a double quote a string also. It should work in same, right? So you can see that a special character is removed. Remember, this replace will replace all the special character matching with this. For example, here also I have written these things, right? So it will replace all those things. Yeah, replace all. Replace is basically equal to replace all. So it will remove all those special character. Whatever thing you will write here to replace, it will replace those things. Then we have index of, right? So which is also we use frequently. We have a method which is called str. Actually, I am using str, right? Which is from top. It's s. Ideally, I should use s. S dot. We have one is index of. And here in index of, we write character. For example, here I have written 4 by counting it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. But if I will write here W, then it will get you know, index of this W. So now we can say 4. So here I get 4. So instead of writing this thing, what I can do, I can write this one also. Copy and paste. In one function, you can pass another function as well. Now what it will do, first it will get the index, and from here we will get 4, and then 4 will be added here. And then you will get final output, welcome to Java session. Because first it is getting index of W, and then it is subtracting, right? Getting substring from there. That's why index of method is very important to know. Same time we have another method which is called s.char at. Char at will tell what is the character on particular index. For example, if I will write here 4, then it will return us W. So char at is used for getting the particular character on that particular index. So you can see we have lots of methods available, right? And you have to basically remember these things doing practice. As dot code point add, these things added newly, so I have also not used, so I'm not going to explain this. Concat, right? Concat is used to just concat to a string. The plus symbol that we use is basically concatenation. So here suppose we have one string this and you want to add s, then you can use concat. It will return chars. We have two and dot concat get dot her. So you will get final output to get her together, right? So it will just append it. We have concat function contains. We have seen content equals is the end with equals in formatted. Formatted is also you can use to format the output, right? Which is okay. In turn, is blank, is empty, right? These things also you can use. Length, region match, repeat. What is the use of this one? So what it is saying, returns a string whose value in the contents of the string repeat count times. So we can see this repeat method. So I'll say repeat here, and I'll say let's say 2. What output we will get? Okay, so you can see here the same value, right, is repeating 2 times. So this repeat function, although this is also added newly, right? So if you write here 2, 3, 4, right, the same string will repeat that number of times. Yeah. So this is one method, although it's fine. A equal to, let's say, 50, right? Int b equal to 50. What I want here to get 50 plus 50. That means 5050. I want output 5050. 5050. One way is I can just do here a plus b. If I will just do a plus b, what output we will get? We will get 100, not 5050. So to get 5050, one way is I can just start with appending one blank space, and in that case now I will get 5050. I have appended a string and then plus a plus b. So it will simply treat as a string. Another way is I can use here a string dot value of function. Value of, and here I'll write a. Similarly, I'll write a string dot value of, I'll write b. So now a string dot value of a plus value of b. Now it will give us 50 and 50. So this is also one way to get that. Right? Value of will convert any data type. Whether you have any data type, it will convert it into a string format. And then we have one more class. I mean, 2 more class available. One is a string, then another one is called a string builder and a string buffer. So what happens? We have 2 more class: a string builder sb equal to new string builder. Let's say I write here a string builder, and then we have another one, a string buffer. A string buffer, let's say sb1 or sbf equal to new string buffer. Okay? So basically, in related to a string, we have a string class, then we have a string builder class, a string buffer class. So mostly in interview, they ask this question: what is the difference between a string builder, a string buffer? So you can tell that a string, I mean, all these 3 are classes itself. A string is also class, a string builder, buffer is also class. The difference here is, in case of a string, whenever you append anything, whenever you concat, whenever you modify anything, it creates new memory, right? Whenever you modify anything, it will create new memory. It will consume memory. But in case of a string builder and buffer, it will not take memory. For example, here I have written a string sb. So I'll do sb dot append, and what it will do here, let's say I'll say hi, then I'll do sb dot append, and anything this I write here hello, right? And finally, if I will print here sys out sb dot to a string, just I wanted to convert it into a string. So if I will print now, you will get hi and hello, right? The thing is, whenever you are doing sb.append, it is not creating another object. We have only one object sb. But if you do the same thing with a string class, internally in memory, it creates object, right? So that's why a string builder and buffer is, we use to save money, right? Save memory, right? But you should know, right? We have one more class, a string buffer and a string builder. Now they ask this question: what is the difference between a string buffer and a string builder? The same thing you can do with a string buffer also. There is no difference in that. So everything is same. And write SBF, SBF, SBF. Everything is same. The output and everything you will see same. So difference between a string buffer and builder is a string builder is fast, right? This is fast comparing with a string buffer, right? I can say little slow, right? Now a string builder is we can say not thread safe. That means in multi-threading environment, a string builder will not work. But this string buffer is safe, right? Or I can say thread safe. You can remember these two things. So a string buffer is thread safe, and that's why it's little slow. But a string builder is not thread safe, and it's a fast way to process data. Just to remember these things, yeah. All right. So I wanted to explain only about a string class today.